Of Arirang News, I'm Han Da-eun in Seoul. We are now just minutes away from finding out how Korea's 19th president Moon Jae-in plans to run the nation during his 5-year term. The Moon administration's policy agenda has been finalized, and we will now bring you special live coverage and the official announcement of the new government's policy roadmap. The president's de facto transition team, dubbed the Advisory Committee for Planning State Affairs, has been working hard over the past 50 days to restore calm and promptly establish the government's policy guidelines, especially after Korea's biggest political turmoil in recent memory swept through the nation, leading to the impeachment of the former president while triggering a huge national division. Given such unprecedented circumstances, the new government says it actively took into account the voices of the people when making policies. The policy agenda announcement will be outlined sector by sector with some 20 strategic plans and some 100 policy objectives, most of which are not far from President Moon's campaign pledges. The 100 policy objectives was created under the slogan, "Korea, a nation of the people and justice," and it reportedly prioritizes political, economic, and military reform, as well as major civil issues that affect most Koreans, such as the fine dust. Now, with that, let's bring in our senior political correspondent, Myung-gil, to talk a bit more about what we can expect from today's huge announcement. Myung-gil, good to have you with us.
Hello, Dawn.
Now, I want to start off with national security, given such tense situation surrounding the Korean Peninsula today. We do have quite a clear picture now on President Moon's vision for inter-Korean relations after his Berlin speech and also after Monday's proposal for inter-Korean talks. But he has also mentioned a bit about military reform. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Sure, Dawn. Well, President Moon Jae-in wants to strengthen South Korean military's readiness against potential threats from North Korea, especially on nuclear and missile issues. And in preparation for that, Moon Jae-in's administration wants to push for an early transfer of OPCON, the South Korea's wartime operational control from the U.S., by beefing up its own defense capabilities. Now, South Korea was supposed to regain its wartime operation control at the end of 2015, but the transfer has been postponed indefinitely as the allies agreed to seek a conditions-based OPCON transfer instead of setting a specific deadline amid growing North Korean military threats. Another important policy objective is to stamp out corruption in the Defense Ministry. Now, President Moon proclaimed that uprooting corruption in the Defense Ministry was very important, as just 2 days ago, the president stressed that defense industry corruption was a threat to national security. And related to that, the prosecution raided a top defense firm, the Korean Aerospace Industries, or KAI, for making illicit profits of around $21 million by manipulating its development costs in a government project to actually manufacture new utility helicopters. And in order to monitor and successfully implement these types of policies, the President's Advisory Committee has suggested establishing a special team under the presidential office to oversee duties during President Moon's 5-year term.
Well, the OPCON transfer from the U.S. to South Korea sounds like a very complicated and challenging issue. And also, it is not quite pleasant to find out that corruption is still rampant in the defense industry, rather. Let's now move to the economy. What are some of the main economic issues that are on top of the Moon administration's policy agenda list? And also, President Moon's campaign pledges focused very much on revitalizing the nation's economy.
Well, right down, there's around 100 policy items on the list, and at least 1/3 of them actually are focused on the economy. And right now, President Moon is seeking to create a lot of jobs to prop up the economy. So the government's strategy is to create around 810,000 new jobs in the public sector during President's 5-year term. And the Moon administration is actually seeking to sharply raise the minimum wage and improve the working conditions of irregular or part-time workers to address the income disparities and boost economic growth, which it hopes will lead to increased household revenue. Now, President Moon has promised to increase the minimum wage to 10,000 won, or roughly $8.8 US. an hour before his 5-year presidency ends in May 2022. But he also promised to mobilize all available means to help minimize a possible rise in costs for small firms. Now, the policies also touched upon sharing economic growth between conglomerates and small businesses and trying to create a level playing field for small and medium-sized firms in a country where family-controlled conglomerates have been ruling the domestic economy for more than decades.
I want to move on to our third question. President Moon is known for his efforts to reach out to the people and really get closer to the people. And on that note, he has said that he will focus a lot of the issues that affect the everyday lives of the people. Can you give us some examples of that?
Yes, just last month, the President's Advisory Committee, the first thing they did was to actually come up with plans to lower the telecom fee costs for average Korean citizens. And how much do you pay every month?
I think I pay about 100,000 won. That's about $90. But yeah. I do think that's quite a lot to pay every month.
Well, yeah, it is quite a lot. But average Koreans, they pay around like to $45 to $55 every month. And last month, as I've said, the advisory committee announced that they will be in fall. They would actually lower the monthly telecom fees discounts to around 25% from the current 20%, and the government will actually cut an extra $9 from the fees for elderly citizens and those on low incomes during the second half of the year. And they're also planning to continue discussing the possible abolishment of basic fees also. But telecom carriers have raised concerns the government's move could hurt their operations and earnings that are critical for future investments. Now, going on the energy policies, there are also crucial factors in President Moon's 5-year term, as his administration declared last month that Korea will go nuclear-free, promising to shut down all nuclear old reactors and halt the construction of new ones, replacing them with energy from clean and renewable sources. Now, the opposition parties did criticize President Moon's policy shift, saying that his half-baked policies could lead to hefty rise in possible electricity bills and potential energy shortages. Now, Korea is very reliant on imports for its fossil fuel, which accounts for around 90% and currently runs around 25 nuclear reactors, which account for also 30% of the entire electricity supply. So, while renewable energy provides less than 5% of the country's power, the administration is continuing to provide new solutions to better clean and renewable source energies.
Well, it's good to know that the new government is really striving, really going the distance to solve the issues that affect most Korean households. It's good to know. For those of you who have just joined us, we are now awaiting a huge announcement by the Moon administration on their policy roadmap for the next 5 years. It will consist of some 20 strategic plans, specific plans to carry out those policy goals, as well as some 100 major policy agendas. So we are just minutes away to find out how Korea's 19th President Moon Jae-in plans to run this nation during his 5-year term. The president's de facto transition team, dubbed the Advisory Committee for Planning State Affairs, has worked very hard for the past 50 days to restore calm and promptly establish the new government's policy guidelines, especially after Korea was hit hard by the nation's unprecedented corruption scandal that led to the impeachment of the former president and also while triggering a huge national division. Given such circumstances, the new government says it actively took into account the voices of the people when making these policies. Now, let's go straight over to the venue. President Moon Jae-in is making an entrance to make a speech. Let's listen in.
Thank you very much. My fellow Korean citizens, some 70 days after the inauguration of our government, today, the State Affairs Advisory Committee will present the new government's 5-year policy objectives. It is a great pleasure to do so. Many people exerted great efforts. Chairman Kim Jin-pyo, Deputy Chairman Kim Tae-yeon and Hong Nam-gi, and many other lawmakers. Thank you very much for your great efforts. Compared to previous transfer committees, we lacked personnel and budget. Yet you've made a valuable outcome. Please join me in giving them a big round of applause of appreciation and encouragement. In particular, in selecting our policy items, we moved beyond government-led past practices, and for the first time ever, we relied on public participation. I believe this is very meaningful. In order to hear the voices of the people, Gwanghwamun First Street was set up, and a total of 160,000 suggestions were registered. The website was visited by more than 790,000 people. These were numbers which were unpredictable. On-site requests were also reflected fully. We visited Mokpo Newport, still with pains of Seoul Ferry, and visited the Marine Finance Center and 17 fields in total. Likewise, the new government's policy plans were made with the public who have the sovereignty of the nation. I extend my gratitude to all of you for participating in the process. My fellow Korean citizens, during the past 2 months, there were many changes. After the political scandal, we are rebuilding the Republic of Korea. We exerted efforts to communicate with the people and to revive people's livelihoods. Korea-US Summit and G20 Summit were held, through which we restored a gap in diplomacy. We enhanced the status of Korea within the world. We began without a transfer committee, but under difficult conditions. But we are making a framework for a properly functioning country. We will now hold hands with the public and go forward together. The State Affairs Advisory Committee's State Affairs 5-year plan to be presented today will become the compass and blueprint for a new Republic of Korea. The new government will follow on the candle revolution spirit. The people will be recognized as the owners in a nation of the people. All privileges and violations and injustices will be rooted out. Changes are already beginning. Singing in unison the March for the Beloved, scrapping state-authorized history books, reducing fine dust, and other urgent tasks are being processed under President directives.
We have started to make measures to stamp out deep-rooted misconducts. An anti-corruption council consisting of related agencies will restart and chaired by the President. A council for eradication of the defense industry corruption will be in operation. By doing so, we will respond to the wishes of the people. Concrete actions are taking place. Minimum wage increase signaled a green light to the era of 10,001 minimum wage era, and measures to support micro-business owners and small and medium-sized enterprises are also established. We're continuing to increase the government's responsibility in the sectors of childcare, education, and environment, which are close to the people's daily lives. We are channeling all of the country's capabilities on job creation. Job Creation Committee was formed, and the job creation dashboard that was installed in my office, I check myself almost every day. Changes in the inter-Korean relations are also sought for. We are in close coordination with the international community in resolving the North Korean nuclear issue while making it clear that the Republic of Korea takes the ownership of the issues on the peninsula. Meanwhile, measures to enhance the relationship between South and North Korea are also being taken, including a reunion of separated families and inter-Korean military talks. Improved relations will help resolve the North Korean nuclear issues. The 5-year State Affairs Plan, the 20 State Affairs Strategy, and the 100 policy items developed by the committee embrace various promises. The administration will carry out a process to refine and confirm the plans to be executable by respective agencies, thereby fulfilling our commitments to the people. We will hold an year-end session on the state affairs chaired by the President in order to take stock of the progress and report to the public. I promise that the implementation process will be carried out together with the people. Honorable fellow Koreans, the government will discuss the national fiscal strategy of the next 5 years to support the administration plans starting from tomorrow. Now, a new framework for the new administration's state affairs will be completed and will be put into practice in a swift manner. The government will do its utmost to make Korea a fair and just country that our people longed for through the candlelight revolution. People come first. By focusing only on the people and their livelihood, and by firmly holding people's hands, I will advance forward. I was able to overcome the numerous difficulties thanks to your support and encouragement. I look forward to your continued interest and participation. Thank you very much.
Change the politics, change economy.
A growth with fair distribution. Making a country a proper one. The great people and the victory of the great people. The process will be fair and the opportunity will be fair and the outcome will be just. The great history to make the nation a proper nation starts now. As you've seen in the video clip, making a nation an appropriate and a proper one, I can recall the sentiments that I had holding people's hand in the Gwanghwamun Square. I think it's now time to take stock on where we are, and today we will announce the state affairs plans as we go forward for the next 5 years. Going beyond the existing policy announcement formats, we will adopt a TED-like forum to announce our state affairs plans. We will have Mr. Kim Jin-pyo on the podium.
I'm Kim Jin-pyo from the State Affairs Planning Advisory Committee. Here today, I'm with the President of Korea and with the citizens to present to you the 5-year national objectives. 2017, May 10th, along with the desire of the many people to bring a change into the nation, we started a new government. As President Moon has said in his inaugural address, opportunities will be fair, the process will be fair, and the outcome will be justifiable. And likewise, President Moon has collected all of these desires of the people to present 200 pledges And along with other pledges, he presented the policy goals for the government. Throughout the past 60 days, our committee specified on the plans and exerted our full efforts to present to you the 5-year National State Affairs Plan. They are the compass for a new government and an action plan to keep the pledges with the people. We have been reported by 80 ministries and departments, and we also registered 160,000 opinions from the public, and we reflected every one of them in our policy objectives. First of all, I would like to thank all of the party members, Democratic Party members, and all of the public servants and scholars for your efforts. And we have met every day to discuss and review the details. And our committee wanted the public to feel that a new government is changing our daily lives. So this is where our focus of the policies lie, and we aimed to reduce the burden. Through these processes, we presented the 5-year national plan, which reflect the national philosophies. And we have 5 phases of plans, and thus making it very feasible. And it's the first ever participatory plan. And thus, this is our pledges and promises to the public. So compared to other former administrations, we are a very special and different. So the 5 tasks that lie ahead, the tasks that lie ahead for the next 5 years will be presented now. First of all, the national vision of the new government is Korea, a nation of the people and justice. A nation for the people means realizing the candlelight spirit and to rely on the constitutional spirit of having popular sovereignty. Having a just Korea is actually the core value of the Moon Jae-in administration, and the core value is justice. The 5-year state affairs plan are as follows. First, government of the people. Second, government of co-prosperity. Third, government of responsibility. Fourth, balanced regional development. And last but not least, peaceful and prosperous Korean Peninsula. Such 5 objectives, and to realize them, we have picked 20 policy strategies and 100 policy items. First, under the government of the people, we have 4 strategies and 15 tasks. Second objective, a government of co-prosperity, includes income-led job growth, vital and fair economy, and a total of 5 strategic plans and 26 national policy items. And third, government of responsibility. There are embracive welfare for the all, and other 5 strategic plans and 32 tasks. Fourth, balanced regional development is focused around decentralization of autonomies, and it includes 3 strategies and 11 tasks. Last but not least, peaceful and prosperous Korean Peninsula includes a strong sense of security and defense, and a total of 3 strategic plans and 16 tasks. And such 100 objective tasks are as follows. Each of the tasks include at least from 2 to 9 sub-action plans. and they have phases, action plans, and they also have legislation plans, and also to help the effective implementation of each ministries, they have task management cards. So I have briefed you upon the national vision and the 20 strategies of the Moon Jae-in administration.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you very much for that. Many people, I believe, are applauding out of a deep impression by the announcement. I would like to make a point that such progress will continue in the new administration. Mr. Kim gave us a brief overview of the big picture of the 5-year plan. Now, we will have Mr. Park Bum-ge to introduce the government of the people. Hello, I am Chair of Politics and Administrative Division, Park Bum-ge. Well, the first agenda is the government of the people. The government of the people will be realized by realizing candlelight sovereignty of the people. We will also have a president, Kwang Ha-moon president, who unites people through communication. Third will be a competent and transparent government. And fourth, agencies, a democratic reform of the agencies with authority. To do so, we have formed TFT by agencies to stamp out deep-rooted misconducts and to take stock on the progress. And by doing so, we will have measures to prevent recurrence of such misconducts. And within this year, we will restore Anti-Corruption Council, and we will also organize anti-corruption organization in 2018. The communicative president, the president of Kwang Ha-moon, will be about disclosing a real-time schedule of the president and of the high-level officials of the government. The core of this administration's philosophy lies in human rights. Therefore, National Human Rights Commission of Korea will be strengthened, and through revision of the Constitution, we will prevent the violence by the government, by the authority, by introducing a public attorney system for criminal cases. And doing so will bring fundamental change to the legal system of Korea. The open administration would be about forging an open government platform where all the people can participate and communicate easily. Government 24 will be officially open in 2017, and the disclosure system will be also revised. And Civil Society Act will be revised, and thereby supporting the civil society system. The strengthening the criteria of appointment of senior civil servants and legal actions to investigate, to install an investigative body on corruption and influence peddling of high-level officials will also take place. Drawing new boundary of investigative functions of the prosecution and police will take place in 2018, which I believe many people have high hopes for. And mediation plan will be established in 2018, and unlike many people's concerns that it might infringe the rights of prosecutors and police, we will make sure that it will not happen. And autonomous police and metropolitan municipal governments and its systems will be operated in earnest in 2018. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Continuing on, we will now have, under the topic of Government of Co-Prosperity, we will invite the head of Economy 1 Subcommittee, Lee Han-ju. Yes, I'm Lee Han-ju, head of Economy 1 Subcommittee. In my subcommittee, we focused on the second policy task. Government of co-prosperity, what does this mean? It means that whoever wants to engage in economic activities can engage in economic activities freely, and an economy where the benefits are distributed equally among the people, and this will increase income and investment and naturally lead to increase of jobs, and which will in turn naturally lead to increase in income. Under such aim, we focused on 5 strategies and 26 policy items. The first item and the first strategy is economy for the jobs of the public sector. We will provide 810,000 public sector jobs. We will also secure jobs in the social welfare service. And we will expand the youth employment in public sector and enhance and strengthen the public sector job network. We will also innovate the service industry to create quality jobs. We will also uniform the max interest rate for lending, and this will be reduced phasely. And the financial system will also be free. It will be focused around consumers. Second strategy is about a fair and a vital economy. We will protect the small firms from the conglomerates, and we will penalize conglomerates whenever needed. We will enhance their circumstances, and we will prevent them, the conglomerates, from having too much interest. And we will also protect consumers through comprehensive and group investigation. And furthermore, we will vitalize a social economy and introduce a system of fair distribution. We will establish a co-prosperity and coexistence of small and big firms. And next is focused on the livelihoods of the middle class. We will enhance their capabilities. The new welfare incentives and welfare points will be given to them in onnuri gift certificates, and we will expand the tax benefits for those who have individual asset management accounts. We will also enhance the transportation network that connects the municipal governments, which will ease the commute of the people. Fourth strategy is focused on enhancing the fourth industrial revolution through more technological advancements. We will have IoT-only network as early as possible and commercialize 5G network, and we will nurture new future-related industries, including free driving cars and bio. We will also have more freedom and autonomy in the research and development sectors. We will also we will actually deregulate in the industries of eco-friendly industries so that there will be more development in the sector. And the venture-led startup nation will be established. We will expand the size of venture fund from 3 trillion to 5 trillion won and double the R&D for SMEs. And we will provide the 3-year salary for one youth if a firm hires 3 youths. This will help enhance the social values and enhance people's happiness. We will exert our best efforts. Thank you.
People say that people look alike when they have the same purposes in life. So I believe that is true. Now we will have Kim Yeon-myung, the social subcommittee head. The pledges the president made during the campaign was the government with responsibility to keep those pledges. We have made 5 strategies. One is an inclusive welfare nation, meaning that the welfare will be benefiting all the people. From next year, child allowance will be introduced. Gradual raise and basic pension plan will also take place. The controversial easing of the family support obligation criteria for basic living assistance will take place as well. The government will take the responsibility in treating dementia. The elderly have many concerns, and to resolve those issues, the NPS, National Pension Service, will go under a reform, governance reform that enhances specialty and its independency. And we will reduce the NPS contribution of individuals. And we will also provide a total of 170,000 public housing units annually. We will also resolve the worries of people of privatizing the medical sector. Such concerns of the people will no longer take place in the new Moon administration. The public housing units that will be provided will be especially focused on the newlyweds and the youth generation. Second will be the education issue that will be taken care of by the government. Marriage and childbearing and will no longer be the issues refined to only women. The government will subsidize the complete nudity course of childcare centers, and a gradual execution of free high school education will also take place. I myself, I'm a professor at a university, and it's really the college entrance examination itself is very complicated for even myself to understand. So we will streamline the entrance examination. We will also have in place a comprehensive plan to revise the outdated schools around the country. Well, when we send our kids to school, it is always of a concern that safety issues will arise or some accidents might occur. So the government will take care of such issues. The government will also implement national responsibility system to swiftly respond to catastrophes. The humidifier issue, the fertilizer issue, was huge in the public. I myself is a victim of the issue, and we will have preventive measures on chemicals, and in particular, the fine dust issues will be addressed by comprehensive measures. The four major rivers project is of a big concern of the Korean public. We will carry out thorough investigation and reassessment to promote renaturalization. The world trend is to phase out nuclear power plants, and we will be in tandem with such trends. We will reduce the amount of nuclear power based on the roadmap and provide safe and clean energy. The third strategy is a fair society where labor is respected, and the Moon Jae-in administration will make this society where laborers and labor itself is respected. Their rights will be guaranteed, especially a revision and improvement of the union and company relations will be something that we will keep a close tab on. And ratification of core agreements of the World Labor Organization will take place. We will also have a roadmap to solve the issues regarding irregular workers. Gender equality is one of the critical issues of Korea, and the Gender Equality Committee will be established right under the President's office so that we can promote gender equality and help the women in Korean society to prosper and progress. The daily culture that people enjoy will also be reinforced. We will guarantee the right to create freely. The content of the artists will be also taking place. One of the notorious aspect of Korea is the long working hours. The statute working hours will be normalized, and the alternative holiday system will be introduced. The local content will be converted into tourism resources and to reinforce the tourism industry. Lastly, after the Second World War, there are no countries who became a welfare country from an impoverished country. The state affairs plan that we announced today, if they are kept in earnest, I believe firmly that we will become the first of such case. Thank you very much.
네. 지금 방송을 보고 계신
Now, many of our public are joining us with the broadcast, and I believe that they are mapping out the future of our country. And under the title of Balanced Regional Development, I invite Lee Gi-ho, the head of Economy 2 Subcommittee. Nice to meet you, everyone. I am the head of Economy 2 Subcommittee, Lee Gi-ho. The fourth objective task is balanced regional growth. This is the hopes and the wishes of all of our people. First, we will realize grassroots democracy to have autonomous division of power. And we will have a balanced development of co-prosperity. Last but not least, we will also have the rural place where we'll be welcomed by the people. This is a very urgent national task. First of all, let me focus on the autonomous division. We will introduce the second cabinet meeting, so the heads of the mayors and the heads of the municipal governments will be participating these meetings, which will be a channel for them to give their opinions. The autonomous regions are also related to taxes. So the ratio between the national tax and regional tax will be enhanced. In the long run, it will go towards 6-4, which is an objective under the Moon administration. And on top of this, we will reduce the financial gaps among the autonomies. So by increasing the ratio of the tax, I believe that this will lower the gap. The Moon administration will prevent cases like state-authorized history textbooks, and we will enhance the quality of education. The Sejong City will perform its best performance as an administrative city, and Jeju Metropolitan City will become a model of decentralization. Second is about co-prosperity and balanced growth. As I just mentioned upon, the Ministries of Interior and Future Communication will move to Sejong City. And the innovative cities have been established, but they will be playing a full role to become the hubs for innovative cities. And we will enhance the capabilities and competitiveness of many cities by carrying out urban New Deal projects. The marine projects will be enhanced, and therefore we will establish a separate marine promotion public corporation, which will oversee all of the related tasks and enhance the competitiveness of the industry. And the ports of Busan North Port and Incheon, there are very worn-out ports, but they will enhance their capabilities and qualities. And we will make our rural area be welcomed by the people. First of all, we will enhance the quality of life of the farmers and fishers, and we will newly create the forests into new resting places for the people. We will also mediate the price of the rice production and stabilize rice price. And on top of this, we will have the public purpose direct payment system, and we will enhance insurances for the farmers. We believe in the value of the youth. We will help them settle down in the rural area, and this will begin as soon as next year. Furthermore, we will have a smart farm in our farms, making them IT friendly, and we will make an overhaul of the overall agricultural sector. The production is decreasing in the ocean, so we will restore this as soon as possible. We will work with the public. Now this finishes my presentation, and I am the head of Economy 2 Subcommittee, Lee Ge-ho. Let's make nation with co-prosperity. The Moon administration will make this possible. Thank you very much.
네. 끝나야 끝난 것이라는 점.
Well, we will have to see until the end.
평화와 번영의 한반도라는 주제로
Now we will hear from the Diplomacy and Security Committee head Lee Soo-hoon. Hello, I am Lee Soo-hoon, the chair of Diplomacy and Security Subcommittee. I will talk about the peaceful and prosperous Korean Peninsula. The peaceful and prosperous Korean Peninsula, how can we bring it to real life? A strong security is the answer. Moon Jae-in administration, there shall be no questioning about the national security. Strong national security starts from a national defense reform. The system and the personnel structure will go under a reform for a balanced improvement and development of the military, and the national defense will be going under a reform by raising soldiers' salaries to 50% of the minimum wage. And the national defense industry corruption issues will be strictly dealt with by strengthening the punishment of related personnel. The inter-Korean relations shall be enhanced. And to do this, we need a strong strategy. And to do so, we will draw a new economy map of the Korean Peninsula. The East Sea, the West Sea, and the borders are the three axes of the map. The standoff situation of the inter-Korean relations will be resolved in a phased approach. Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, the North Korean team to participate in the Winter Olympics will be supported. We will invigorate the social and cultural exchanges. And we will expand the autonomy of municipal governments in order to have interactions with the North. For the peaceful Korean Peninsula, the North Korean nuclear issue must be resolved by adopting dialogue and sanctions. A peaceful Korean Peninsula shall be realized, which will be the foundation for the peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula. Now, we are facing an era of the diplomacy of people. People's participations have increased and the communications are active. The People's Diplomacy Center and system will be built, and we will listen to the people's opinions broadly through on and offline means. By communicating with the people and improving and enhancing people's participation in diplomacy, we will be able to execute an effective diplomacy of Korea. By garnering the people's competencies in regards to diplomacy, we believe we can come up with a better and more effective diplomacy. Thank you. It was Lee Soo-hoon.
Yes, all of us aim for living in a prosperous nation, and I feel once again that we need a peaceful peninsula. And next is the innovative tasks and regional pledges. Let's invite Mr. Yoon Ho-jun, the head of planning subdivision. Yes, I'm the head of planning subdivision, Yoon Ho-jun. I will focus on how all of the ministries can carry out the 4 major comprehensive and innovative tasks. First task is alleviating inequality and to make a job-led economy. And to do this, we need to enhance income, which will lead to a vitalized domestic economy and leads to more growth. This oversees all of the social and economic policies of the Moon administration. As you can see, all of these policies for growth, employment, welfare will not go separately, but they will form a golden triangle like you see in the picture, and this is only when we can succeed in this policy. To do so, we need to increase the number of jobs. We need to reduce the number of working hour and non-regular workers while increasing the quality of employment. The government, in order to create quality jobs in the public sector, this will lead to more jobs in the private sector, and we will enhance more quality jobs. Moreover, we will provide more support for small enterprises. And to do so, we need to enhance the minimum wage to 10,000 won. And we need to make equal job for all and a work-life balance as well. Secondly, the task is the 4th industrial revolution, and to lead this industrial revolution, to make our industry ready. First of all, our industry of science and IT will go through innovation to make an ecosystem of fourth industrial revolution. We will need to innovate our regulations to bring about new social challenges, and which will also help us to tackle education innovation. And we will also have innovation in the public sector by enhancing our work so that we can make the foundation for a startup nation. The third task is alleviating demographic cliff. Starting from this year, the number of production population is decreasing in our society, and we cannot sit idly by. Now this comes to the nation taking care of child nurturing and education and helping the employees to have a work-life balance and to enable the young people to have to feel more stable with the wedding and childbirth. In order to do so, we will have a social measurement and child-friendly policies. The fourth task is a balanced growth among our regions. For the autonomous division, we will have a second cabinet meeting where the mayors and the heads of the municipal governments will participate in. And in order to have a balanced growth, we will reform our current structure and to enhance the roles of the Saemangeum and other innovative cities so that they can play their role fully. Next, let me go through the regional pledges and how we will execute them. Under the Moon administration, there are 143 regional pledges. As you can see, the 143 pledges are divided into regional industry innovation, SOC, transfer of institutions. And under the big framework, there is the National Balanced Growth Strategy, and we will make a system of communication to follow up the phases of the developments. First of all, the National Balanced Growth Committee will become a nationwide committee and which will oversee all of the nations at once. And we will divide immediate tasks which will be reflected on the next year's budget so that we can implement them as soon as possible. And the regional industry innovative tasks will also be carried out in phases, and large-scale SOCs and national businesses will also be carried out in very detail, but very timely, so that we will have no delays in the projects. As I have briefed you today, the Moon administration have focused on 100 policy objectives, and these will help solve these problems of our society. How do you feel now? Don't you think that your lives will change now? Don't you think that Korea will become a properly functioning nation? This concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.
Well, we have heard from the gentleman on the 5-year state affairs plan, a regional development and a plan to make our nation better were the plans that you just heard about. Now we will hear about the legislative plans and financial plans, how to execute such agenda. We will have Mr. Kim Tae-yeon to explain on these issues. Hello everyone, I am the Deputy Chairman of the committee, Kim Tae-yeon. From now on, I will explain how we can implement these 100 policy items and the legislative plans. Among the plans, the 5-year budget that we require is 178 trillion won. For the government of the people, 42.3 trillion won. Responsible government, 77.4 trillion won. Balanced government also requires some budget. So by expanding the tax revenue, we can collect 82.6 trillion won. And how we can increase the tax revenue is, as you can see here. And by reducing tax expenditure, we will have 95.4 trillion won, and also we will use the surplus of different funds of 35.2 trillion won. The new government's financial plans will have an increase of 18% of redistributing the income, which now stands at 13%. And to do so, we need to revise the related legislations, and by 2018, 427 out of 465 will be submitted to the National Assembly. And we will have in place a management system for legislation. And we will have a priority on the pledges that are the ones that all the 5 different parties had come up with. The policy agenda will be implemented systematically and will have an outcome. By 2018 is an era of innovation. And the 4 authoritative agencies will go under reform. And the customized social security will also be operated. By 2020, we see this as an era of leaping forward. The minimum wage of 10,000 won will be realized. We will also deregulate to help the micro business owners and small and medium-sized businesses. And the renewing city New Deal projects will also be promoted. From 2021, we see this as an era of stability, where the people will feel the real change that has come across the whole society. And this is where the people can eyewitness the change that this government has brought. We will have 810,000 additional jobs in the state-run corporations. The utilization rate of public daycare centers will reach 40%. And Northeast Asia peace and cooperation system and agreement will also be made by this time. And all the agenda that we have announced today will be managed through a joint effort of the Presidential Office and the Government Policy Coordination Office.
이제 마지막 발표만을 남겨놓고 있습니다.
Last but not least, we have the final presenter. We will have Deputy Chairman Hong Nam-gi for his presentation. Please give him a big round of applause. I am Hong Nam-gi, Deputy Chairman of the committee. Up until now, you have been briefed upon the policy philosophies of the new government and the 100 policy objectives. And last but not least, I will brief to you how they will be managed and how they will be spread to the people. This is the system. First of all, we will have a Presidential Policy Planning Committee. And this committee will oversee the implementation of the objectives nationwide. And under the committee, we will have an office which will coordinate with the Blue House policy team. And inside the cabinet, the Office of Prime Minister will oversee and review and evaluate the policy items, and there will be close coordination among the government party and the Blue House. And as you can see on this slide, and as we have reiterated numerous times, we have 4 large innovative tasks, and considering their significance, we will have each of the committees overseeing each tasks. To this, the government will pay special attention on the 4 major innovative tasks to carry them out fully and effectively. Next is how we will manage the policy objectives. The 100 policy items, each of them are closely linked with the livelihoods of our people, and thus they are very important. Therefore, they need to be carried out on the field without any delay, so that the government will focus all our capabilities on this. And as regard to legislation, we will have no delays. And as for the budget, we will secure early budgets so that they can be funded in a timely manner. And the tasks, every one of the tasks will be reviewed, and the results will be presented to the public and the president in a very transparent manner. If there are any errors or problems in the process, the Prime Minister's office will carry out review and swiftly respond to them. But above all, what's important is the results that we deliver through these plans. We want the public to feel that there was a change in their livelihoods. And the government needs to present such changes. So the Office of the Prime Minister will collect all of the ministries' the achievements to present them to the public. Last but not least, we will share and distribute our policy philosophies. All of the philosophies and objective items that we've reported today will be spread, will be delivered widely nationwide. And this is very important. This is when we can really achieve the philosophies and the 100 policy items of the Moon administration. And we are addressing this to the public for the first time ever right now today. But the next phase is the role of the public sector. From now on, the public servants will have education workshops, seminars, where they will spread the philosophies of the government as soon as possible. And there will be also a party and government workshop to enhance cooperation and communication between the two, and we will enhance cooperation and communication with the civil society. It will be a nation of the people, a just Korea. This is the vision of the new government. This is a vision of Moon administration. A nation of the people, a just Korea. Towards this goal, let's go forward Thank you very much.
You have it. Korea's new government has unveiled its policy roadmap for the next 5 years that encompasses vast issues stretching from politics, economy to civil issues that affect most Korean households. It consists of 20 strategic plans to carry out the Moon administration's 5 major policy goals and 100 tasks that need to be done in order to successfully complete the policy roadmap. President Moon Jae-in was present during the announcement, and in his keynote speech, he stressed that he would make reforms to root out corruption, an issue Korea is still trying to shake off, and that he would create more jobs and further raise minimum wage to ease the financial burden on citizens. He also mentioned that he would make efforts to ease inter-Korean tensions through dialogue and a change in North Korea policies. Well, we'll leave it there for now, but tune into our evening news to get further details on the new government's specific plans on how to run the nation for the next 5 years, right here on Arirang. Thank you for watching.
Korean Mud Festival 20th anniversary.